Sometimes it goes by real quick. Okay, connecting to video. I should have copied that, but it's okay. I can check it here and copy paste it real quick. Yeah, today is Saturday. For me, it's been a great day because on Saturdays I go to Moravia and I help with Help Colombia. We teach kids English in this really poor neighborhood in here in Medellin, and that's what I do on Saturdays. And it's just been great. We had a great time with the kids. We teach for like 4 hours, 2 different classes, and it's super fun. Let me check the audio here. Yeah, the audio is good. For those of you guys that are just watching this for the first time, my name is Andrew Macia, and this is Life Hacks with Andrew. Every day for the next 2 years, I'm going to be doing a live stream and posting videos on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page with that same theme, life hacks. I've gone through many negative things in my life. For example, in 2003, I went to jail for 2 years for mistakes that I made as a kid when I was 22 years old. Coming out of jail, I joined a multi-level marketing company and I had to live out of my car while I built that business, failed, gave up actually. I gave that business up, went back to living with my parents in 2006 or so, and then I started on another entrepreneurial venture, failed at that, and then in 2009 I moved to Colombia with $2,000 credit card, and I never looked back. Today I own a 7-digit digital marketing agency with my business partner Joel. I own multiple real estate properties that I have on Airbnb here in Colombia and other investments and projects that I work on. But it took me 17 years since I got out of jail to be where I am today. And along those 17 years, I've learned many things about myself and have worked on myself for a lot of time, and I continue to work on myself. I continue to get better. I continue to improve on myself. I continue to invest in myself. So my objective with this stream is to be able to reach people and to hopefully impact, even if it's just one person, to have a better day, to pursue that dream or that business or that career that they wanted to, because they maybe saw a video when they were feeling down and they heard what I was saying and how I have overcome adversity and have succeeded, and I continue to work on myself and I continue to fight and never give up. And hopefully that could change someone's perspective, outlook on life, and hopefully change their life forever. That's the objective of these life hacks with Andrew every single day for the next 2 years. The second objective, obviously, is to monetize my channel once I get to over 1,000 subscribers. The goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers and to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month off of AdSense, sponsorships, and whatever comes of this channel. Obviously, there is a method to the madness, and there's an objective, there's a goal. So I hope that you guys find this informational, and I hope that you guys are having a great day today. Today's Saturday. I hope everyone's has plans. If you don't have plans, that's okay. Obviously, this is what I'm doing with my Saturday, and it's going to be the same thing that I do with my Saturday for the next 2 years until I become successful at my YouTube channel, at my Facebook channel, etc. Hello to everyone that said hi so far. Johnny, how you doing? Hello to my parents that are also watching this, which is great. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a speech that was given by Naval Admiral McRaven. He gave this commencement speech to a graduating class of a university back in 2014. And it's a very famous speech. You can find it on YouTube if you just type in Admiral McRaven. And the title of the speech, I don't know if this is the official title, but it's one that I like. It says, "To have the courage to change the world." And those sound like very powerful words, to have the courage to change the world. Many people see that. It's like, wow, you have to be someone amazing or someone huge in order to change the world. But as Admiral McRaven says in the beginning of his speech, he says the average American, and this is probably true for anybody in any country, is that in your life you're going to meet 10,000 people. That's a lot of people. But if everyone changed the lives of just 10 people, and each one of those people changed the lives of another 10 people, just 10, then in 5 generations, in 125 years, we will have changed the lives of over 800 million people. He was talking to a crowd of 8,000. That's where he gets that, if 8,000 people change the lives of 10 people, and then those people change the lives of 10 people, in 5 generations, if 10 people kept changing the lives of 10 people over 5 generations, those 8,000 initial people will have changed over 800 million people's lives. It doesn't take a lot to change someone's life, I think, in my opinion. I've recognized that by starting this nonprofit organization called Help Colombia here, by working with kids in very impoverished neighborhoods, by literally just teaching them something as trivial for me and small and something that came so natural to me as speaking English, makes a world of difference to a kid that has never even met someone outside of their own neighborhood. If you think that it's hard to change the lives of just 10 people and changing their lives forever, you're wrong. Admiral McRaven talks about the 10 lessons that he learned while going through his Navy SEAL training. And he wishes that in his speech that these 10 could maybe make a difference in your life. And in my life, they have made a difference. They definitely resonate with me. I never went to Navy SEAL training, but I did go to jail for 2 years. So it was my own version of hell years or hell weeks, because they have a week in Navy SEAL training that is called Hell Week. In jail, that's every week. Some of the things that I learned in jail are very similar to what he learned in Navy SEAL training to become a special ops SEAL. That's some of the hardest people in the world, right? So the number one thing out of these 10 things, the first thing that he talks about is to make your bed. And when I first read that, because I actually read the transcript before I watched the video, back in 2014, I read "make your bed." I said, that's really interesting, because he says that in Navy SEAL training, the first thing that they have to do every single day of their lives is to make their bed and make it in a specific way. And someone's going to come over and inspect their bed to make sure that it's folded and creased and tucked in exactly the way that they were trained. It's not a hard task. It's a pretty easy task, but it has to be done every single day. In jail, it's the same thing. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you have to do is make your bed. The officer will come, whoever is in charge for that day of your cell block, and check every single bed and inspect every single bed to make sure that it was made. If it wasn't made, then he fucks up your whole cell and the ensuing cells in your cell block. So not only are you in trouble with the officer that's in charge of the cell block for not making your bed that day, but you're also going to be in trouble with your own cellmates and cell block mates, because the officer goes in and tosses their cells up as well. So what does this mean? Make your bed every day. It's what our parents teach us. And sometimes parents teach kids to make their bed and they don't really know why, but they know that it's a good thing to make your bed. But, Admiral McRaven says that the little things in life matter. If you could do if you can't do the little things right in life, like making your fucking bed, you won't be able to make the big things right in life. For me, that resonated a lot, not only because I had to go through that experience for 2 years while I was in jail of having to make my bed and someone inspecting it, but it makes sense that if I can't even make my bed every single day and do it correctly, then how am I going to run a fucking business? How am I going to run a nonprofit organization? How am I going to run my Airbnb business? How am I going to delegate correctly? How am I going to get through the day correctly? How am I going to have people's lives, a livelihood dependent on me and be able to succeed at that? The little things in life matter. Even if you think that they don't matter right now, in the future, this culmination of doing this daily task every single day and doing it correctly, it's going to add up. And at one point, it's just going to become so part of your life that some people are going to look at you and be like, wow, you do this task every single day and that's amazing. I can't even do it myself. Well, that's what sets the 5% of the world apart from the 95% of the world. The 95% of the world that are going to complain. The 95% of the people that just want to get a regular job, 9 to 5, go home, be able to have their weekends off, have 2 weeks of vacation at the end of the year, and just go through life without anybody ever bothering them and them never making a real impact. The other thing that I got out of making your bed every single day is that not only is it a good task to do in the morning because you start your day off by finishing a task, right? It's also about recognizing that you finished that task, because even if you have a shitty day, at the end of the day, you come home and you come home to a bed that's already made. Admiral McRaven talks about this in that speech. He says, at least you made one task, and when you get home, even if you had the shittiest of days, you get home and you are able to see that, you made your bed and at least you have that made and done. Even though you failed at everything else today and everything went wrong, you at least did one thing and you did that thing right, and it's there for you to see. And that you should understand that you should celebrate those little tasks as well. That was one thing that I learned when I was in high school and I was on the volleyball team. If you ever played volleyball, whether any sort of volleyball team that was organized, you celebrate everything. Even if you miss a dig or you spike the ball and they block it and they hit it back onto your side and you lose the point, you go back in the middle and celebrate the effort. You celebrate the fact that you tried. You celebrate the fact that even though you didn't get there, you formed a habit that is going to get you there the next time. That's one of the things that was hard for me, to celebrate even the smallest tasks, because I always thought that they were supposed to be not celebrated, that they were supposed to be what I'm supposed to do, right? Why am I celebrating something that I'm supposed to do? But after going through that in life and understanding that even the smallest tasks can be celebrated, and sometimes those small tasks are actually bigger tasks than you believe, life is just better. Life is not only easier for me, but everything that I do in life gets a little easier and gets better for me, and I enjoy it more. For those of you just joining, thank you for joining the live stream. My name is Andrew Macia, and today I'm talking about 10 life hacks that I've learned from a speech that was given by Naval Admiral McRaven it was a commencement speech to a graduating class of 8,000 people. And he talks about the 10 things that he learned during Navy SEAL training. He had an illustrious career, I think over 30 years. It was like over 35 years as a Navy SEAL. These 10 lessons resonated with me because even though I didn't go to the Navy, I never served in the Army and the Navy or anything like that. I did serve 2 years of jail time, and being in there is very similar to obviously going through training in the Navy SEALs, and I found that out by when I heard what he had learned. It was very similar to what I had learned in the 2 years of being in jail. Number one, make your bed. As an inmate, you must make your bed, or else you're in trouble with the officers and in trouble with your clique, your car, whatever you want to call it, the people you run with. Number two, find someone to paddle with. Admiral McRaven talks about a part of Navy SEAL training where they have to paddle on the coastline of San Clemente, which is in Southern California, and they've got to go, and it's during a time in a season where the surf is very high. It could get up to 10 feet high, and if anybody's ever been surfing or been in the ocean, you know that a 10-foot wave, I think he was talking backside too, not the face, not the front side, because if it's a backside 10 feet, the face could be over 15 feet. So imagine you're paddling in inflatable boats, and he says that in order to make it through the waves and to make it to your destination, everybody has to paddle, and everyone has to paddle synchronized, right? So I guess the point and the lesson that I learned in life, and the lesson that he's trying to get through to people, is to surround yourself with people that are positive, to surround yourself with people that are paddling in the same direction that you're paddling. Find yourself people that are going to push with you. Find people that are going to be with you through the negative times and obviously through the positive times. Because nobody wants to paddle and nobody wants to go alone, especially if you're starting a new business, especially if you just got out of jail, especially if you just moved to a new country like I did. Nobody wants to paddle alone. But you also don't want to be paddling with someone that's not paddling in the same direction as you, because you're never going to get to your destination. For those of you guys just joining, thank you for joining Life Hacks with Andrew. Every single day for the next 2 years, I'm going to be doing a live stream talking about motivation, about business, about life in general, and also playing video games. Right now, I'm not playing video games. I'm talking about the 10 life hacks that Admiral McRaven talks about in his famous speech, in his famous commencement speech to 8,000 students that were graduating back in 2014. That resonated with me because a lot of them I learned during my time in jail and also in my journey as an entrepreneur. So number one was to make your bed. Number two, find someone to paddle with. Number three, don't judge a book by its cover. Admiral McRaven, in his commencement speech to the students, he says that there was a time in Navy SEAL training that they have to paddle to do very rough surf together with their crew. I think it was a 6-man crew. And he said that since he was a taller guy, his boat was part of a crew that were all tall guys. And there was another crew that they called the Munchkin crew because they were all small. And they were made up of an American Indian, an African American, a Polish American, and a Greek American, and an Italian American, and 2 kids from the Midwest that were all short guys. However, they were the shortest and the most different of all of the crews, yet they were the ones that always out-paddled, outran, out-swam all of the other boats. The bigger guys obviously did a little bit of bullying. Obviously, there's always bullying. In jail, there was a lot of bullying. And I'm sure going through training like this, and when I was on basketball teams, there's always some sort of bullying, friendly banter, etc. Sometimes it gets out of hand. But they would make fun, the bigger guys would make fun of these little guys because when they had to put on the flippers to go swim, their flippers were tiny and it was funny. So they would call them the Munchkin crew. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the world and the nation always had the last laugh because they were swimming faster and reaching the shoreline before any of the other crews. So the moral of the story is that even though these guys were smaller and very diverse, that this Navy SEAL training, which the metaphor should be life. He says Navy SEAL training was the great equalizer. And I think it's true in business and in life that no matter what you go through, life is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters but your will to succeed. It's the same thing in life. Nothing matters but your will to succeed. In jail, it was the same thing. Nothing mattered. It didn't matter if you're black, white, red, yellow, purple, whatever. Nothing mattered because at the end of the day, everyone was equal there, and the only thing that mattered was your will to succeed. And in jail, it was your will to survive. So your color, your ethnic background, your education, or your social status, none of that mattered. Admiral McRaven says that if you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not the size of their flippers. Meaning, don't judge a book by its cover. Get to know someone and figure out who that person really is. Don't worry about the car that they're driving. Don't worry about the clothes that they're wearing. Don't worry about where they came from. Don't worry about what type of education they have, because in life, all that doesn't really matter. What really matters is the size of their heart and how big their will is to succeed. And I believe that applies to me very much because of the fact that I did go to jail for 2 years. I'm an ex-felon. I had to start my own businesses. I came to a country after 30 years of not being in Colombia. I came to Colombia with no money, and I started another business. And I had no education, didn't go to university, barely graduated high school. And now I'm a co-owner of a 7-figure digital marketing agency here in Colombia that caters to drug and alcohol facilities in the United States. And we own several Airbnb businesses here, or Airbnb apartments, I should say. We have an Airbnb business here. We invested into a hotel. We've got other investments and other projects that we work on. And we started a nonprofit organization called Help Colombia. It's not the size of your education, your background, or whatever that matters. It's the size of your heart and how much of a will you have to succeed. Number 4, get over being a sugar cookie and move forward. So what is a sugar cookie? Admiral McRaven, in his famous commencement speech to 8,000 graduating students, said that while he was in Navy SEAL training, every Navy SEAL went through inspection, and one of the most rigorous inspections was their uniform inspection. It's the same thing in jail. In jail, you were inspected not only your cell to make sure that you don't have any contraband or illegal shit, but also your uniform, or your jail-issued clothes was inspected as well. In the Navy SEAL training, if they failed the uniform inspection, if they had one button that was wrong or one little thing that was not folded correctly on your uniform, that was a failure. So because they failed, the students had to run completely clothed in their uniform to the surf zone, right, on the beach, and get wet from head to toe and roll around in the sand until every part of their body and their uniform was covered with sand. So they called that in Navy SEAL training becoming a sugar cookie, right? Because they were wet and covered in sand. And they had to stay like that in their uniform, cold and wet and sandy all day. Many of the students that went through this just couldn't accept the fact that all of their efforts were in vain. They would become a sugar cookie one day because they had one button off. So every single day they were meticulous in putting their uniform on and not getting anything wrong. Yet when the instructor would come, he would say, "You fucked up. Go swim in the ocean and come back out as a sugar cookie." Some of the students couldn't get over the fact that all of their efforts were in vain. Those students did not make it through training. In my life, that means that sometimes you're just going to fail. Sometimes you're just going to get shit wrong. Even if you try your hardest, I've had many businesses fail, and I tried very hard, and I failed. And I it didn't pan out. I didn't make it as an entrepreneur. But the difference between me and other entrepreneurs that are no longer entrepreneurs, that gave up on entrepreneurship, is the fact that I didn't stop trying, that I never quit. Sometimes no matter how well you prepare or how well you perform, you still end up a sugar cookie in life. It's just the way life is. Failure is part of life. If you want to change the world, this is what Admiral McRaven says, if you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and move forward. Don't worry about your failures. Yes, they're going to be hard. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, life is not fair and you're going to fail. Yes, other people have unfair advantages. But don't worry. Keep moving forward and never give up. Number 5, don't be afraid of the circuses in life. In Navy SEAL training, Admiral McRaven talks about a part in the training where every day during the training, you were challenged to multiple physical events like long runs, long swims, obstacle courses, hours of calisthenics, sometimes designed to test your mettle, right? To test what you're made of. Every event has standards, times you have to meet, etc. If you fail to meet standards in these events, then you were posted on a list, and at the end of every day, those on the list were invited to a circus. And the circus was 2 hours of additional calisthenics to wear you down, to break your spirit, to force you to quit this Navy SEAL training and not make it as a Navy SEAL. No one wanted to go to these circuses because it meant 2 more hours of running, 2 more hours of exercise. A circus meant that your day didn't, that day you didn't measure up. That day you fucked up in the regular things that you had to do in training, and the circus meant more fatigue. More fatigue meant that the following day was just going to be a little bit more harder than it was before, and more circuses were likely. But at some time during Navy SEAL training, everyone, he says, made the circus list. So he says, Admiral McRaven says that life is filled with circuses. You will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging, and at times it will test you at your very core. But if you want to make a change in the world, if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circuses. What does that mean to me? It means that hard work is not easy, obviously. That's why people say the word hard work. It's not something that is going to be easy. And hard work is subjective because what's hard to me may be easy to you. So don't measure your success or don't measure your pain through hard work. Measure it through the work that you get to do. So, for example, if today was a hard day and your goal is to do an extra hour at the gym, your success is going to be measured by that extra hour, not by the regular stuff that you do every day in life. For me, when I started my business in 2016 with Joel, I decided to do 2 years of extra work. I said, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to meet with friends. I'm not going to do anything but focus on my work for 2 years, on the business for 2 years. Those 2 years were the catalyst to forming our 7-digit digital marketing agency. If it weren't for those 2 years, I would have never acquired the clients that we have today to make us a successful digital marketing agency. I had to go the extra mile. In life, you can't be afraid to go the extra mile because it's painful, because the pain of not going that extra mile is going to last a lifetime. Nobody wants to go through life broke. Nobody wants to go through life regretting the things that they didn't do in life. That's what don't be afraid of the circus in life means to me. Number 6, sometimes you have to slide down head first. Admiral McRaven talks about an obstacle course during Hell Week of Navy SEAL training that contained 25 different obstacles, and the most difficult, the scariest obstacle was a rope that went from He said 30-foot, 30-foot tower down to a first floor that was 200 yards, 200 feet of rope, like the big, thick rope, where they had to, go down. And typically people go down like this. And I've seen videos of it where they grab it like this so they're hanging, and then their feet are hanging on that rope and they're climbing down slowly. Until one time, one soldier decided that they're not going to do it with that technique. Instead, they're going to go over on top of the rope and slide down head first. Obviously, that soldier killed the record for that obstacle course. It was a very difficult and very risky maneuver, because no one had ever done that. And if you fall off the rope, you're falling 30 feet. You could injure yourself and obviously be kicked out, leaving Navy SEAL training. So it was very risky on many levels. The first level being physical threat to your body. So the moral of this story is that in life, in order to make a change in life, sometimes you're going to have to take risks. Sometimes you're going to have to do things that not everybody does. For example, in my life, I took the risk of coming to Colombia with no money and starting my own business catering to clients in the United States. I didn't care that I didn't have a safety net. I didn't care that I didn't have any family or friends here. I knew after years of, having been to jail, having lived out of my car, having tried to start businesses and failing over and over again, I knew that my time would come, but I needed to take risk. And that's what I did. I took a risk, and the rest is history. Now, I can honestly say that my life is pretty amazing. I don't have to worry about money anymore. I don't have to worry about the type of friends that hang out with me. I don't have to worry about the law. I don't have to be looking over my shoulder. And I love the way that I live. I love the fact that I have a business. I have various businesses. I also have a nonprofit organization. And it was all because I was willing to take the risk to start something new and to do something that no one in my family, none of my friends, nobody that I ever knew did in their life. Number 7, don't back down from the sharks. Admiral McRaven talks about a time in the Navy SEAL training where they have to swim down the California coast and at night. And it's very well known in this area where they have to swim that there are sharks. Even though they're told that no one has ever been eaten by a shark in all of the years of Navy SEALs training in this location, they tell them that even though no one's ever been killed, but if a shark for some reason starts swimming around you and starts, stalking you, do not try to swim away. Do not act afraid. Instead, stand your ground, and if he charges at you with all of your power, punch it in the nose. And that should deter it and make it swim back. The moral of this story is that in life, there are many sharks. There are many people that are bullies. There are many people that are going to try to put you down. Whether you're trying to start a new business, whether you're trying to get out of the place that you're at, there will be the critics. There will be the people that are so miserable with their life that they want to bring you down because misery loves company. But you need to stand up for yourself. And what does that mean? It means that you need to learn how to stand up for yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to fight and be contradictory and at any time someone criticizes you, you fight with them, right? Because that's also a very negative way to live life. It means to work on yourself, work on your self-confidence, work on your self-esteem and your self-worth, more importantly. You are worth being a millionaire. You are worthy of having so much money and so much success in life that you never have to worry again. And sometimes that's hard. For example, people like myself who were illegal immigrants, from basically as a baby, growing up in a society that looks down on illegal immigrants and obviously Mexicans. Although I wasn't Mexican, I was Colombian. I spoke Spanish, so I was considered Mexican. Not saying that there's anything wrong with Mexican people, but there's a negative connotation that society, especially in Southern California, has with an illegal immigrant. So working on myself throughout the years, after I got out of jail in 2005, I had to work on myself a lot. I had to work on my self-worth, on my core beliefs. I had to work on my self-esteem in order to stand up to negative people in my life, or people that would come in the future that were negative, and to be able to deal with that in a good way, right? In a good manner. So if you want to make a change in the world, don't back down from the sharks. That doesn't mean fight with everybody. It means work on yourself internally in order to get over criticism, in order to get over people trying to pull you down. Number 8, do your very best in the darkest moments. Admiral McRaven talks about a moment in Navy SEAL training where they have to do a very deep swim in the dark at night. And the mission is to get to a ship, an enemy ship, go under the ship and find the keel. The keel is the center line and the deepest part of the ship, right, in the water. That's the objective. But the crazy part about that he explains is that while you're swimming, you have to swim a long way. You have the moon and maybe some extra light from the city or from wherever you're at, that you could still see light above, and it's very comforting to know that there's light above. So as you're swimming and you get closer to the ship and you're going down to find the deepest part of the ship in the water, that's when it gets the darkest, because you don't have the moonlight anymore or any other surrounding light to help you understand that, there's light up there. It's completely dark. You can't even see your hand in front of your face. But you're taught that at this moment is when you must be the most calm, the most composed, when all your tactical skill and your physical power and all of your inner strength must be brought to bear. What does this mean in my life, and how do I take this? That there are going to be dark moments in life. There are going to be moments when you feel suicidal, which I have. There are times in your life where you're going to feel hopeless and helpless. You're going to feel very vulnerable. But these are the moments where you can't panic. These are the moments where you have to summon all of your courage and all of your power and everything that you've learned in life to get through the moment, because eventually there will be light at the end of the tunnel. I know that because I went to jail for 2 years and I thought that was my lowest moment. And it was my lowest moment in life, and I thought that was the end of me, that I would forever go back to jail, because that is the history of an inmate in the United States. Usually if you're convicted of a felony, the probability of you going back to jail is about 70%. And I knew that going into jail. So I understood that it's very, very possible that I would be going back to jail for the rest of my life. So I had to make a change. I had to see some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. And I found that while I was in jail through AA meetings, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, meeting people that were there. They've had done very bad things, but didn't want to go back, and understanding their stories and what made them go back in some cases. So at these darkest moments is when you have to be the most positive and most composed and the most calm. Number 9, sing when you're up to your neck in mud. That's really, I love this story. This is my favorite part of the commencement speech by Admiral McRaven. Many people revert back to make your bed. He's most famous for saying make your bed every morning. But in my opinion, sing when you're up to your neck in mud is my favorite part, because it makes so much sense. He says that in Navy SEAL training, there's a week called Hell Week, where you paddle down to the mud flaps and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive the freezing cold mud. the howling wind and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. So not only are you covered in mud from up to your neck, you're in the mud, but it's very cold. You have to be there for 15 hours. And on top of that, all of the instructors are encouraging you to quit, telling you that this is too hard, that you're not going to make it. It's easier if you quit. The worst part, he says, is that when the sun begins to go down, because it starts to get even colder, everybody is covered, your whole crew is covered from the neck down in mud. And not only is it cold, but it's bone chilling because of the wind on the ocean. So there was a time when it was a Wednesday, he says, that when the sun went down and they were extremely cold, that they were being yelled at by the instructors to quit, that he overheard a voice singing. The song was not in tune, but he was singing with enthusiasm. One voice turned into two voices, and then all of a sudden everybody was singing. The instructors told the crew that if they kept singing, that they were going to spend more time in the mud. Yet they did not stop singing. What happened when they sung? Somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, the wind a little tamer, and the dawn was not so far away. The moral of the story, Admiral McRaven goes on to explain, is that if he has learned anything in his life while traveling the world in the Navy, it's the power of hope, the power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, a King, a Mandela, or even a little girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving other people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. For me, that's amazing, because what I'm trying to do here with this stream, with these videos that I'm recording and then editing and then putting back up on YouTube, with these live streams that I'm going to be doing every single day for the next 2 years, is to give at least one person hope. That if I can make it, you can make it. What I'm trying to do with Help Colombia is to be able to help change one person's life for the better and give them hope that there's more than just their neighborhood, that there's more than just their little metal and wood shack that they live in, that there's more outside of their existence right now, that there is hope. I love that line, sing even when you're up to your neck in mud, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do with my life. I'm trying to tell you that I have been up to my neck in mud. I know what it feels like to not have hope. But at the very end, if you find someone that can give you hope, it could make you get through that day a lot easier than if you didn't have that hope. Finally, number 10 is to never give up. He said that in Navy SEAL training, during that time in training, that there's a bell that hangs in the center of the compound where they're at while they're training. And in order to quit and make all of this hell that they have to go through, all they have to do is ring the bell. Ringing the bell meant that they didn't have to wake up at 5 o'clock anymore. Ringing the bell meant that they no longer had to go on these freezing cold swims. They didn't have to go on runs or obstacle courses, etc. They no longer had to endure hardships of training if they just rung the bell. The moral of the story is that if you want to change the world, never, ever, ever ring that bell. And that resonates with me because as a young kid wanting to find the easy ways in life to make money, trying to find shortcuts, quitting at everything that I did was my version of ringing the bell, and that never got me anywhere until I learned that I can't quit. I have to persist. Quitting meant failure. So never, ever quit. That's what I've learned in life. Sometimes things are going to be very hard. They're going to seem impossible, but you can never quit. McRaven, or Admiral McRaven, concludes his speech by saying that you should start each day with a task completed, making your bed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. You should know that life is not fair and that you're going to fail often. But if you take risks, you step up when the times are toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, then the next generation and the generations that follow will live in the world far better than the one we have today. And I honestly believe that, and I live every day of my life with these intentions. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream today. This live stream will be edited and put up as a video where it's shorter. Thank you guys for joining. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed, make sure to subscribe on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube. On YouTube, it's just Andrew Macia. On Instagram, Andrew Macia. And on Facebook, Andrew Macia. It's pretty easy to follow. Thank you guys for joining. All right, I'm going to end the recording here. There we go. All right, well, yeah. Admiral McRaven, that speech is amazing to me. I love that speech. For those of you guys that are on Instagram, thank you guys for joining on Instagram. Every single day I'm doing a live stream. I'm not doing them every single day on Instagram because sometimes I'm just playing video games and talking about the topic. So when I do have an important topic or something that I want to talk about that I think everybody could find helpful, I do stream live on Instagram, but every single day I will be live on Facebook and on YouTube. So make sure to join the YouTube because I also have a newsletter where I go over hacks, more importantly about business, about making money, basically based on my experience as a freelancer and as a digital marketing agency. Yeah, Juan Esteban. Yes, Juan. Yeah, you should definitely take a look at. You should watch the video of Admiral McRaven's commencement speech. It's 10 things that everyone should look into. Number 1, make your bed. Number 2, find someone to paddle with. Number 3, don't judge a book by its cover. Number 4, get over being a sugar cookie and move forward. 5, don't be afraid of the circuses in life. Number 6, sometimes you have to slide down head first. You have to take risks. Number 7, don't back down from the sharks. Learn to stand up for yourself. Number 8, don't ever or do your very best even in the darkest moments. Number 9, sing when you're up to your neck in mud. Give people hope. Number 10, don't ever give up. Never ring the bell. For me, that's fucking awesome. I love that, man. It's so motivating, especially on a Saturday. Who needs motivation on a Saturday? I need it every single day. I love what I do and I love my life, but everybody needs to be motivated. Everyone needs just a little push to get through the day sometimes, to get through the hour sometimes. For me, it's something that I do every single day. I literally listen to motivational speakers. I listen to speeches, and Admiral McRaven's is one that I love. Oh, some saint, Carlos says that there's a saint that said that the first prayer of the day is to make your bed. I love that. I appreciate you, brother. Antonio, what's up, man? I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the comment, the good vibes. Going through my own struggles and the mud. Appreciate all of your words. Antonio, yeah, sometimes life is hard. It's easier to be negative than it is to be positive. I know that because I've been in situations where it was hard to be positive. But if we remember these things, if we remember and listen to these things daily, I think it makes it easier to be positive through adversity. I know that when I was in jail for 2 years and the years ensuing, when I was trying to start a business, I was trying to make something of my life as a 25-year-old, just, wide-eyed and brimming with enthusiasm and never wanting to go back to jail. Things were hard. It was hard. It was hard to go, sell perfume on the street and try to make a business out of that. It was hard to live out of my car. It was hard to not go back to my parents and say, hey, shit, I fucked up and I failed again. That's hard to do. It's not something easy to do. It was hard as a 29-year-old to pick up everything and come to Colombia with no money, and start teaching English for the regular salary that, or not salary, but the hourly wage that a regular Colombian would make while I started my own business. It was hard, but these 10 things are very true in my life. Number one, I started doing the little things and appreciating the little things and doing the little things every single day. Number two, I found someone to paddle with, which is my business partner, Joel. On top of that, I have a ton of other people that are paddling with me in the same direction. I don't want people that are just going to paddle for paddling's sake or paddling to their own destinations, which is great. Everyone should have their own goals and dreams, but I have core values and I have core morals that I hold true in life, and I'm very hard-headed and how do you say that? When it comes to my convictions, I am very headstrong, and in order to paddle with someone, they have to have those same values or those same morals, and I think I found that in the people that I work with today. I have well over 20 people that work for me, or for us, I should say, in our various projects, and they're all amazing people. I would not be paddling with them if I didn't think so. Number two, don't judge a book by its cover. This has always been held. I hold that so true and dear to my heart, because there's so many times in my life where I tried to judge something without getting to know that thing. I looked at rich people that I thought were successful and rich just because they were fronting. They were driving a nice car, wearing a nice suit, living in a nice house, but yet in their heart, they weren't pure. In their heart, they weren't the greatest of people. They weren't the greatest of teachers or mentors. So it's always great to judge someone by their character and their heart instead of what they show. Number four, get over being a sugar cookie. I love that story that Admiral McRaven talks about. Don't worry about being perfect in life. Just go out and do something. That's the greatest balance that me and Joel have, actually. Joel is my business partner, and he is the one that worries about being a sugar cookie, meaning that for him, things should be perfect before that he goes out and tries to do something. For me, I'm the opposite. I'm not educated. I don't have any technical background or any professional background. I've never worked for a salary ever in my life. The first salary that I ever made was about 3 years ago when I started giving myself a salary, and it's the only time I've had health insurance in my life, if you could imagine that. And it's the only time I've paid into Social Security. I have, because I have been an hourly worker in the United States, but it's the first time that I actually do all of these things in my life at the age of 35? Yeah, it was like 35, 36. Yeah, at the age of 36 was the first time I ever got a salary in my life. Why? Because I'm not a sugar cookie, and obviously that has its negatives or its cons. For example, it's good to overanalyze sometimes. It's good to analyze your risk and take a calculated risk. But me, I don't operate that way. I go in and do shit first and then figure out how to make it successful. It's not the best process because, like I said, it's taken me 17 years since I got out of prison to make something of my life and to be financially free, and also do the things that I love to do, like this stream, playing video games, doing the nonprofit organization Help Colombia, and having a team of people around me that are super positive and amazing. Number 5, don't be afraid of the circuses in life. He says that the circus in Navy SEAL training was the extra hours that you had to do because you fucked up. But he said that those people that did the extra hours were the strongest, were the people that made it through the whole Navy SEAL training and became something in Navy SEALs. So don't be afraid to do the extra work. Don't be afraid to go the extra mile. It is painful and it's hard, and sometimes it's boring, and sometimes it's not what you want to do, but go the extra mile. Find a way to go the extra mile. Find a way to be motivated, whether it's listening to one of my streams or listening to a motivational speech on YouTube, on Spotify. Spotify has them now. It's excellent, man. It's amazing what you can find out there. People do want to help you. I do believe in the good nature of people, and people do want to help. They do want to come out strong, and they do want to do the right thing. Sometimes it's difficult. Number 6, sometimes you have to slide down head first. Sometimes you have to take risks. My whole life has been dependent on risk. I've taken bad risks and it ended up in jail, but then I learned how to take the good risks. I learned how to appreciate the tough times because I knew better times were coming. Number 7, don't back down from the sharks. Work on your own self-worth, your core beliefs, your self-esteem, to not let anyone ever bring you down, and stand up for yourself. Number 8, don't do your very best in your darkest moments. That means that do your very best in your darkest moments doesn't mean like, oh, things are going to get tough and then you're going to have to get up out of it. No. You have to train right now. What I'm doing right now with my life by going over this and showing it to the world, or at least anybody that watches this stream or my videos that I upload on YouTube, is training for the dark times. My life is not over, and there will be times that are going to be more challenging. Right now, my life is great, but there are going to be times that are challenging. And if I don't prepare for that mentally, psychologically, spiritually, those dark times are going to consume me, and I'm going to hit rock bottom again. So I have to prepare. Someone that is that is susceptible to drinking, doing drugs, and doing the wrong things through life that got me in prison has to prepare for the dark times, because the only answer that we know, people like me, is to do the wrong thing. So I have to prepare for those dark times by filling myself with positivity, by surrounding myself with positive people, by listening and putting things into my head that are going to be a reflex when something goes wrong, and the reflex is going to be to do the right thing. Number 9 is sing when you're up to your neck in mud. And singing when you're up to your neck in mud means that not only prepare for the dark times by preparing yourself, but also help others in their dark times. Give people hope, because that brings hope in your life as well. It gives you a purpose in life. When you sing when things are bad, other people will listen to your singing and sing along, and their life will get a little bit better. Their difficult time will get a little bit better. That's why I'm committing to 2 years of every single day doing this, because you don't think that in 2 years there's going to be a day where I'm going to be like, fuck this shit, I'm not going to do a live stream because today I feel terrible. Fuck this shit, I just lost, a ton of money in crypto, and I'm not going to do this because I got to figure out a way out. Fuck this shit because I just lost a client that was bringing me $50,000. But if I sing or I bring positivity to people and give hope, whether it's through this stream or through Help Colombia, it gives me a purpose to move forward and to push through those negative times that are going to come inevitably. Number 10, and finally, is don't ever, ever, ever give up. It's easier said than done, obviously. Giving up is the easy way. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to give up. And I've given things up in my life as a kid, and that's what got me to jail, was that attitude of like trying to find the easy way out. And when things got tough, drugs, alcohol, drug sales, etc., were the easy way. Obviously, it was the toughest way. And I had to go through 2 years of prison and years of follow-up with parole officers, walking the tightrope, saying no to my old friends, saying no to my old hangouts, and literally moving away and trying to find a better way, but never giving up. Even though I went from failure after failure of trying to start businesses over the last 17 years, I've failed, but it only took one time to succeed, and that time is now. And it's happened within the last four to 5 years, where our digital marketing agency has gone through the roof, and I know that I'm at the point of no return where I know I'll never be broke ever again in my life. And that's a really good feeling to have. But it's a feeling that comes from years of me working on myself, not only as a digital marketing professional, but also as someone that has the self-confidence to know that I could lose everything and I'll gain it back tomorrow very easily. I know that for a fact. So thank you guys for joining Life Hacks with Andrew. I'm Andrew Macia. I really love doing these things. It really pushes me, and I look forward to doing it every single day. Tomorrow, I'll be live again around this time. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I have a friend over right now. We're going to go probably watch a live band or go do something fun. And then tomorrow, I've got my tournament game. Tomorrow's the Super Bowl. I'll definitely be streaming before the Super Bowl, probably early. And it'll be another probably motivational speech at some of some capacity. But I really want to play video games. I'm not going to play video games today, and I'm sad to say, but I'm glad I did this live stream. I really appreciate everybody that liked, commented, and followed. Today, it's only 150 people that are subscribed to my channel. In 2 years, it'll be 100,000. And I go with that same gusto, and I leave you with that same motivation. Today, you may have nothing, or today may be a bad day. Today may be a normal day, but tomorrow, it's just going to be better. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. All right, so we're off of Instagram here. Yes. Instagram's ended. I don't know how to end the damn Instagram nicely because I have to put like my face or my fingers in front of the fucking camera. But yeah, it was a great stream. I love Admiral McRaven's speech. I highly encourage you to watch it. Kav, what's up, man? Hope you're doing great, man. Life is good. Today's a great day. It's a Saturday. And looking forward to doing this again tomorrow, and looking forward to seeing what you're up to, Kav. I want to see more posts. I want to see more of your writing. You're a great writer. And I think that you have a great thing going with your blog, the Medellin blog, but I would be really interested to see any of your other writing too, if you have like another type of blog. Because I really do think that it's great, and it's just a matter of time before you blow up. Let's see, what else? I think I've gone over everything that I wanted to go over today. Today was a great day. I went to Moravia to teach these kids English with Help Colombia, and those kids are freaking so hilarious and so cute and so great that it really motivates me every single week to be like, okay, Saturday is the day that we wake up early and we go teach these kids, because for them, this is a life-changing event because they never even leave their neighborhood. Some of these kids live with grandparents or parents that are not around, with uncles, or their older sibling takes care of them. It's really tough for them. So to be able to do something amazing for them, like bringing them into a class, teaching them English. I brought 4 of my foreign friends as volunteers, and then we give them lunch and we all hang out. It's just an amazing experience, not only for them, but for us as well. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys have a great Saturday. I'll see you guys. Kav, yes, there is obviously room for you to help when you get here. Anybody that wants to volunteer, hit me up. I'll add you to the WhatsApp group so that you're up to date on all the events that we have throughout the year, and join us. It's super fun. If you want to donate, you can also donate through our helpcolombianow.com page.